let me paint a picture for you. Beautiful day, but it's like -3 and windy. So I'm wearing my warm jacket and the hat, and even in this hat I need to get that one, like the winter one. So found my machine. So basically this thing is huge, you know, like the entrance is very tight. There's a building in the far distance where that's I-78, and it's very tight here on Distribution Street, and you see like the ships are right there. They're unloading the ships. There's another one there, and that's what the guy told me. It took like probably 40 minutes to check in. There's no parking anywhere. People that are losing patience are loading heavy equipment on the street. Like, of course, there's cops all over the place. Cops don't care, because, you know, you're not supposed to operate a machine like a forklift. You see, like over there in the distance, there's a Volvo forklift, and I saw a bunch of these. So people were just loading, you know, there's nowhere to park. And I'm guessing they asked him, hey, you want to load on the street? And of course, drivers, you know, we're a very flexible bunch. Yeah, sure. And there's traffic going by. This guy drives a huge loader, disconnects, parks his truck on the other side of the street. Again, there's traffic all over the place. By the way, why these guys are moving away? Time now 11:50, 10 to 12. So I have to wait. Sorry for my running nose. You know, I have this chronic problem. And there's airplanes just taking off over there, over the water. I'm guessing there's an airport over there. Oh, I can see the tower in the distance. I can see the airplane tower, control tower. Anyway, so I parked the truck. So I turn on this Distribution Street, and of course the entrance, I missed the entrance, and you cannot go in unless you check in. So I went over there, found the sign that says no parking. Perfect. Slept there, put on my flashing lights. There's nowhere to stop. Nowhere. Absolutely. There's no, unless you check in, you cannot go in. And then I walked maybe half a kilometer back, stood in line for 30 minutes. Next for pickup. And there's 2 windows. Dropping off, pickup. Nobody at the drop off window, everybody's picking up window. Which makes things, you know, merrier. And then the guy in front of me, he says to the clerk, he says, oh, easy pickup today, just 1 car. Okay, you see they have a bunch of cars in here, right? So coming from abroad, where they make them probably. Yeah, brand new. Like this, everything is covered in cars. That's mostly what they have here. Because yeah, this is like a car terminal first and foremost. And then I see a huge boat over there. Anyways, so the guy says, easy load, just 1. Oh, here's the airplane. I love how they pick up, you know, height at like 45-degree angle. Crazy. Oh, it's Newark. It's Newark International. Actually, I flew from there to Russia a few years ago, you know. Came in here in my Ford F-150. I think I had the Dodge Ram. Just went on a little road trip, and everybody was telling me, why are you driving to Newark? They don't have planes in Toronto? But that's boring. And first off, parking in Toronto is 2 times more than here. And I wanted to go on a road trip, and so I drove here. So I booked a trip from Newark to Moscow and then return back to Newark. Parked my truck in there, and then on the way back, you know, took a few days driving back to Canada. You know, I like driving, especially in a personal vehicle with no trailer. Speaking of the trailer, it's all ready to rock and roll. So anyway, the guy in front of me says, just 1 car, easy load. And it's never easy at a port, especially a trade union port, right? And so the guy behind the window says, what's the reference number? And this guy says, oh, they didn't give me one. And the clerk says, well, I need the reference number. Can you call them and get one? So he starts calling them, and he stands there, and then finally the clerk says, okay, step aside. Next. So that was me. And I give him my paperwork, and I was correct in printing out 2 copies. Because as I was standing in line, you know, you have to be very careful, because again, my truck is like 20 minutes away by foot, or I have to call Uber to get to my truck. And you need to have, oh, check this out, that's a beaut, like yellow, huge yellow airplane. I don't know, 65 degrees. I cannot see the name of the airline. Oh, it's turning this way. Oh, Spirit. It's a Spirit airline, yellow plane with the blue lettering, huge one. So always make sure you print more than one copy, right? So I printed 2 copies, and I'm standing there and I'm reading all the notes, and of course there's like 50 notices, you know, no mask, no entry. This lobby is monitored by video. Aggressive behavior will not be tolerated. Basically, everything is like as if they're dealing with some armed terrorists, you know. Everything is so angry, you know. And then one note says, because you know what else do you have to do, right? You're standing in line. One note says, loads will not be released. Pick up 2 copies of the delivery receipt. Drop off 5 copies of the dock receipt. And I'm like, wait, delivery, okay, I'm picking up. So okay, I need only 2 copies. That's what I got. 2 copies. And the guy says, do you need any help with your trailer? Of course, because his question actually means, can we charge you some money to help you unstack your trailer? And I said, thank you, sir, you're very kind, but no, I don't need any help. I came like this with a booster and with a long neck, no Jeep. Right, and the guy says, okay, go straight all the way to the water, where basically you cannot go any further unless you have a submarine. And then he says, look to your left, you will see a bunch of these machines on your left, so turn left, and that's where you load, start loading. And then he says, make sure you take a picture of the serial plate, and on the way back stop at the gate, come in, show me the picture, and I'll give you all the paperwork, signed paperwork. And actually I need that because my broker says make sure you send us as soon as you load, as soon as you finish loading, send us copies of your port paperwork. So their customer needs this. And so I come in here. I don't know if you guys see this, but you see that white line? Now check how cleverly the trailer is parked. Do you see that? The tires are on the white line. The ramps are on the white line. You know how much training you need to park the trailer like this? Of course I'm kidding, but I remember how difficult it was to load that monster over there. You see that blue machine, FUCHS 360 material handler. And so remember, the biggest difficulty was you cannot see the wheels. Like there's no mark that says your wheels are you know, like over here, right? You know right away that something is wrong. The KBW sign is upside down. Well, some people might say, well, maybe it should be like that from the factory, but then, you know, if you drove a truck a few times, you know that it should not be like that. It should be pointing that way. But then of course that can mean either your wheels are turned all the way to one side or you're straight. So all you have to do, just poke your head out the window, right? See, they're slightly turned to the right. But anyway, so we have this in the truck, right? Those guys over there, on the joystick, on top of the joystick, there's 2 buttons, right? Left, right. So you keep turning left, and so you have no idea which way your wheels are. Are they straight? And that's why when I was loading that in South Carolina, I had to jump off 20 times. And of course I know some people say, you know, I got a GoPro, I got a phone, so I can put the phone on the deck. But you know how long it takes to hook up your GoPro with your phone? I got the app, I got everything, but it cannot find it. I got 2 of them, one is 9, one is 8. I have no idea which one is which on the phone, you know, when you hook up. No, cannot find GoPro, cannot find the camera. Would you like to try again? But and that's why I parked like this. And I backed. I had to block my booster, so I wanted to back to create more room, you know, like you have to think about this, right? So because I'll be coming from there, and then I know I'll be backing a few times to put the machine in a straight line. And so now, see, my left ramp is exactly on the white line, and so I'm gonna use that white line. Basically, I'm gonna go around, like do a big circle to get used to the controls again. Just go like this. You see, like it's all open here. Usually they park cars here, but I'm guessing the ship wasn't big enough for this one. For this, there are too many cars. So, and so I'm gonna go around there and then back until I hit that white car, and then I know when I stop. You know, like basically in Russian we say "Сдаешь назад до характерного звука, до характерного стука." You back until you hear a peculiar sound or particular sound. So that's when you know you have to stop. That's how they teach you at the Russian trucking schools. I'm joking, I'm kidding. I think that's in Ukrainian schools, maybe Bulgarian, Romanian schools. You back until you hear the peculiar sound. Anyway, I'm still kidding. And why I'm sitting in my truck, why I'm not loading, is because those guys over there, they found, you know, look at this area, right? It's huge. They found one spot with, I wish I could show you, but basically like and in front of my trailer, by the way, I gotta be careful not to break this one as well. There's a drainage cover. Right, there's a cover of the drainage pipes, and you would think steel, right? What can go wrong? There's the same one over there, and evidently when they went over it, they broke it. So that machine is so heavy that when the left side front two tires went over that grill, it just killed all that metal, so it just went in. But I checked, I didn't see any damage on the tires or on the machine, because that's my broker says, make sure you know, if there's any damage, take pictures. If there's any cuts on tires, you know, because it's an expensive machine, $500,000. And they park it like that, so I cannot go backwards, I cannot go forward. I can try to play with it and go somehow around that opening, but there's machines all over the place. So of course they know that, and there's electric lines over there. So I would have to raise the boom. Basically, I don't want to chance it. And these guys, they dropped a sheet of steel, like probably 10 millimeters sheet of steel, and they put a bunch of warning cones over there. So they dropped the sheet of steel, which clearly tells me that they knew that that's what they planned to put in there. But for some reason, they didn't put it in. It just sits on the side. And I tried to lift it. Of course, it's like 200 or 300 pounds, you know. I only had the back of this was my breakfast, 400 calories. You know, you gotta be careful with these nuts, you know. Pistachios, 70 grams of pistachios, basically what, 3 ounces, 2.5 ounces, and it's already 400 calories. By the way, this is the cool flashlight Alan gave me the other day. Oh, and one more goodies. I use it actually this time. So that's what he gave me. This, he says he had it for 25 years, never used it. It was just sitting in a box. And so you see, now this is how it's gonna be nice when you need to sign something. Just put your bills in here, because I'm always looking for some flat surface, you know, like. So now I can even hold it, right, as the guy is signing. And these are all my permits. I already got all my permits, which is only 2 permits, right? New Jersey and New York, and so that's why I'm sitting here. And these guys have a break, since it's a trade union. They have a break from 11:45 until 1. And the directive from my broker was, the objective for today is pick up the machine and leave the port, because I'm guessing some penalties will start tomorrow, because tomorrow is March 1st, right? So as long as I pick this up sometime by the end of today, before they close the gate, I'm good. And then I need a pilot in New York. I talked about this in the last video, right? And I booked the guy, which actually I wonder why he's not calling me, because the broker, the pilot car broker said, your guy will be, his name is Jim, he'll call you Monday. Now it's Monday, it's already lunchtime, nobody calling me. I'm gonna check my other phone. And so it's 42 miles I gotta do today. That's the plan. I just want to load, leave the port, and get out of, you know, Kansas, so to speak, and grab 287 north towards New York line, and then stop somewhere there, I don't care, on the shoulder. What a day. But the good news is that I'm loaded, even though I'm all dirty as heck, and they kicked me out. The guy says, how long are you gonna be here? I said, well, nobody's helping. I said, you know how difficult it is to load this machine? And I'm telling you, I don't know why, but for some reason this time I was like clueless, you know. Whereas before, like the same machine, right, when I was in South Carolina, yeah, it took me a while, but I don't know, maybe I was more determined. I had to call the guy, right, to give me to tell me how to operate this. So I had no idea. Now I know. I didn't have to call anybody, and still for some reason this thing just didn't want to go straight, you know, kept going sideways. And I thought I was so smart that I parked the trailer on the line, and that line was totally throwing me off, you know. And then also what I figured, what was throwing me off was the boards. You know, I put the boards like alongside, right in front, like here. I put two boards, and some 4x4. Just I thought it would make it smoother to load, and those boards were just guiding me in the wrong direction, you know. Well, I found nice parking here. By the time I finished chaining, everybody left here, and that's where I get loaded over there. But so this area was all busy, you know, there was no spot. So now I was able to move here away from the traffic, and I'm waiting for Uber. I want to go do some shopping. But check out how many chains I put in. So one pair here, right? One pair here. Then I put boards on the tires, and boards on the tires, 2 chains in there over the front axle, 2 chains on each side here, 2 chains over the rear axle, 2 chains here